Hey, welcome to the Retro Shed. Actually,
hello.
Not welcome to the Retro Shed.
Welcome to the Retro Living Room.
Welcome to our settee. It's Boxing Day. It's the day after Christmas. Hopefully you had a really good day yesterday and had some good presents and didn't eat too much and get completely sick. I was talking to him yesterday about memories of Christmas presents. Because as you grow older, you remember what your good Christmas presents were, don't you?
And your bad ones.
They're part of your childhood. Yeah. And we were also discussing
the crap ones,
because let's face it,
there were a few.
You always had You always had one or two presents you look back at, and they were usually ones you were really excited about getting. And you look at them and you go, wasn't that a pile of crap?
Stop staring at me.
So
there we go.
right. Yeah, so the presents you asked for as a kid remain with you, like, for most of your life, and you look back years gone by at what are your best presents and what are your
worst presents.
Utterly crap ones. I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought, when I was growing up in the 80s, there were some toys that you saw advertised on telly, you thought, wow, that looks absolutely brilliant. And when you actually got down to when you got them, they were bloody crap. I mean, ones that spring to mind that everyone remembers is Mr. Frosty. Every kid wanted their own slush puppy shop at home. Let's face it, if you had a slush puppy machine, that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Frosty
Never had a slush puppy.
Oh, Mr. Frosty looks brilliant on telly. It was like this snowman, plastic snowman, and you put ice cubes in the top, and you turn this handle, and you got a slush puppy, yeah.
I assume they had to cut up the ice.
Yeah, it was like a cheese grater inside it, and you turned this handle and slush came out, and then you squirted some juice on it. No, it was an absolute abomination. It was a pile of shit. What was another one that's been Sodastream, right? Sodastream has been around since the 80s. Every kid wanted their own Coca-Cola making machine in the kitchen. I mean, how cool is that? You grab a bottle, you put water in it, you squirt some E-numbery horrible syrup in, and then you put it in the machine and pull a handle, and the whole idea was it was squirted
sugar,
carbonised something. Yeah, you know what? It would have been more fun if you were actually carbon frozen. I think Han Solo had more fun than with a soda. The Sodastream was crap, and let's face it, it didn't taste anything like Coca-Cola. My Little Pony.
Oh, they've been
Have you ever seen the My Little Pony?
Yeah.
It's an injection moulded horse with tattoos on its arse and a mane you could comb, and that was it. What did you get for Christmas? I got My Little Pony. Here's a plastic pony, you can comb its hair on it. Great. Off-brand Lego, right? Cheap.
You got quite a few of those.
Nasty brands of Lego that weren't Lego. So they were like Lego compatible.
Yeah.
They were always inferior. The bricks
and they were always called
fitted properly.
And they were always called things like blocks with like an X and
blocks,
shit like that.
That's it. Blocks is one of the brands, wasn't it? They're just utter rubbish, which leads us neatly onto a present that Josh really was mad for when he was 7 years of age. And when was that? 2012?
2012, yes.
The one thing he was mad about was Doctor Who. Right?
Yes.
He went through a phase of loving Doctor Who. And you know what, as a dad, I thought that was brilliant because I've been a Doctor Who fan all my life. And he was really into Doctor Who. You know, you had a Dalek, you had a TARDIS, you had that Dalek helmet that you had.
Mate, honestly, I had Bubble Bath that was in a Dalek.
Yeah, he was mad about Doctor Who, and I've always loved Doctor Who. Matt Smith was the Doctor at the time. And there was an episode called Victory of the Daleks, right? And they introduced us to this new breed of paradigm Dalek.
That was the revamped Daleks, wasn't it?
Yeah, you get these new Daleks that came out that looked like the love child cross between Fiat and Volkswagen. They were kind of like, you know, if Fiat and Volkswagen made a Dalek, that's what they'd look like. There was a yellow one and a blue one and a red one and a white one. Fans actually didn't really take to these Daleks.
That's what they were alright.
They were alright, but fans didn't really take to them.
They looked cool.
I don't think they were ever used ever again.
They looked cool.
But
cool. They just weren't what Daleks were.
They weren't what Daleks should have been.
Yeah.
In July of 2011, a company acquired the license to make Doctor Who toys from the BBC. This company was called Character Building Toys. Now, I don't know where they are, or I don't know where they're based, but
probably in court right now.
The company produced a range of toys and figures, and one in particular that Josh fell in love with was the Doctor Who Character Building
Dalek Factory. I saw it in Toys R Us. Toys R Us. I saw it in Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And we used to just go there and I used to just stare at shit that I really wanted but never have because it was about 400 quid. But
this was about 30 quid, wasn't it? 29.99.
yeah, and I think I saw it and I was just like, I want that. I'm having that. I want it.
The set was basically it's a Lego rip-off. So it's not real Lego. It's Lego compatible. If I showed you this thing, you'd say, "Oh, it's Lego." It looked just like Lego,
No, it
didn't
didn't.
it? But
you
it wasn't
100% tell the difference.
It wasn't built, designed, and engineered to the same standards as Lego. It was. We didn't know this at the time, to be fair. It was actually cheap crap.
it was
the
shite,
thing was
yeah.
about 1.5 foot square. And it was supposed to be a Doctor Who
factory that creates Dalek, yes.
Factory, yeah. Now, this thing hadn't been seen in any episodes. We hadn't seen it on TV before. It was just something I think character builders.
It was just a toy it made, yeah.
It was just a toy. And I must admit, it did look cool.
Good idea.
It was a good idea. And I knew something was wrong Christmas morning because about 11 o'clock he ran into the dining room in tears going, "This is crap. Can you help me build this?"
I didn't say this is crap.
No, it was 7.
I just said,
could
can you
tell
help me build
something
it?
was wrong because he built this X-Wing.
And this X-Wing, bearing in mind, had a mechanism at the back that involved bands and everything that could literally open the wings, right? You could literally turn it into a full X, and it had like the beams. This thing was sick, and I built that easily. I'm not an idiot. I was a mad Lego fanatic. I could build complicated sets. I built half of that Millennium Falcon before he had to finish it off because that was
I
complicated.
knew something was wrong because he was frustrated, he was angry, he couldn't get this bloody thing to go together. But the box, it looked cool. The box looked cool, and on the box it actually says, includes 2 microfigures, 1 Dalek scientist and 1 Dalek drone. Strangely enough, we've got more than 2. We've got about 8 or 9 of the damn things. It's got a swivelling Dalek factory machine arm.
It's because you bought me a little set to go with it, a little packet of more of them.
We bought extra. It's supposed to include a swivelling, it is swivelling as well, a swivelling Dalek factory machine arm. It's supposed to have a movable conveyor belt, more about that in a minute because that's lots of crap. It's supposed to have Dalek component hopper and rejected parts bin. To be fair, it's pity the whole goddamn thing didn't fit in the rejected bin because it really was that bad, wasn't it? And suitable for ages 6 and over.
Oh god, what a load of crap that is.
Yeah, the instructions, right? The instructions were a complete goddamn mess. There's no kid would able to figure this out. You know, Lego instructions are really clear and precise, and you turn the page
step by step,
and each bag is numbered and labelled properly so you know which bits you're getting. This thing, no. It was a godforsaken mess, wasn't it? I mean, the instructions...
Somebody high on Xanax could have written it better,
The instructions looked like they were written by Davros himself, blindfolded and on acid. It was just like, what the hell?
He's blind anyway.
No, he's got one eye in the middle of his head.
Davros is blind, isn't he?
He's got that big eye in
Well, he's blind, but then he's got that eye, isn't he?
You know, if somebody had to take the joystick on Davros's wheelchair, so he was just spinning in a circle, and said, "Write the instructions for this, Davros." This is literally what you got. It's an abominable. It's just a mess. Right?
It was.
It took me like
very
4
difficult
hours
to follow
to put this thing together.
It's just shit.
And I knew there was something wrong as I started to build it. It was falling apart
as we were building it
faster than I could build it, and I thought, "This is utter crap. Why is it falling apart?" And it became obvious pretty quickly early on that I was going to have to use about 9 litres of super glue on this thing to get it to stay together. So we got the super glue. I started to build this thing. And the base, you know, the base that it sat on, the base started to warp. As I was building it, the base was warping. That's how badly
it was only on
this
thin
thing
little
was.
plates.
It was on thin paste, and it was just utter rubbish. And the bit that really confused me, there's supposed to be a Dalek conveyor belt on it, which
you could like twiddle
it was
and then move
band,
along it. Yeah,
it was a
but the
rubber
thing
track.
is,
the band didn't move.
it didn't move.
And I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I pulled it apart, and I built it again. I pulled it apart. I thought, the mechanism's wrong. The actual belt does not goddamn move. And the Daleks are supposed to sit on this belt, and you could twiddle a handle, and no. The belt didn't move. It was an utter abominable pile of shit. I mean, I can't be any fairer than that. It really was.
It was, yeah.
And to be honest with you, once we glued it all together, it was quite obvious that he was never able to play.
You can reach inside of it, for God's sake.
Yeah. There was like a bottom section and then a top section, and what I ended up actually doing was gluing it all together
and shoving LED lights all over it
in LEDs
just
to make it look cool, to try and make.
But then again, you can't polish a turd.
You can't polish a turd, and this was a turd. I mean,
An utter turd.
You should have said a Dr Who Turd Factory. It would have been more
appropriate.
Yeah, it was utter crap. What I don't understand about this thing was, BBC are a rich organisation. They should be. We bloody fund it. Lego are. Why the hell didn't the BBC give the franchise to Lego, who would have made some really cool and brilliant toys? Instead, they gave them to this bunch of charlatans that, I don't know, I really don't know.
Yeah, because the rest of it went in the bin.
The whole thing went in the bin. It was that bad. We don't have a single thing left of it.
It went in the grey bin, in fact. It's not even recyclable.
We threw it in the bin, and all we've got left is a collection of these little Daleks, which, you know, it's just...
The Dalek minifigures was the only good thing about it.
Yeah, the only good thing are these little figures, and, you know, that's all we've got left.
Then again, what can we do with those?
I do think perhaps it was just us. Perhaps we just got a bad one, right? And it really was a really cool toy, and it was just bad. But no, I had a look yesterday on Amazon, right? And read the reviews, and we were absolutely wetting ourselves laughing reading some of the reviews. I've got a few here. Go on, read the review, honestly. You can't make this up, honestly.
A wretched mess.
Yes.
This takes ages to assemble, due to the instruction book being a reimagining of a Lego manual put together by cretins. Once assembled, it'll pop apart of its own volition anyway. The plastic used is inferior to Lego. Why did the BBC not give the license to Lego, which is a fantastic toy company? Character building stuff is garbage in comparison, as it's prone to falling apart if you look at it. But this Dalek Factory is as illogical as it is collapsible. If anyone can fathom the conveyor belt, let me know. The fork's Lego construction is so slight and the rubber belt so unwieldy it comes to pieces in seconds. And any Dalek figure on it revolves and falls off. Pathetic, 1 star. But if you get it for under a tenner, I'd give it 3 stars.
And he's absolutely bang on, isn't he? You can tell he's tried to put this thing together. Here's one here. I spent hours putting this together as it kept falling to pieces. Flimsy, poor fitting, it is nowhere near the quality of Lego. Basically, it's unplayable. I'm going to have to super glue it together so my grandson can play with it.
This is absolute rubbish. Spent hours making it, just keeps coming apart. Load of rubbish going in the bin.
Yes, very disappointed. Photos very bad. 6 pieces missing. 8-year-old child who would not be able to make it. Husband very frustrated trying to build it. Our children love Doctor Who, so we're really excited by this product. And another set we had.
We had a broken piece.
Oh, another broken piece, yeah. We will not be buying character products again. Back to reliable Lego. Jesus.
It took over 3 hours to put together and less than 5 minutes to fall apart. The bricks, etc. didn't stay together and the conveyor belt came off after only a few turns.
It doesn't turn though, does it?
Begs the question who tested this toy and thought it would stand up to young children playing with it. Far too complicated and clearly doesn't do what it's supposed to. Overall, very poor product.
My 7-year-old has had tears of frustration and anger bursts trying to get the damn thing to stay together.
So everyone had this problem with it just literally falling apart.
Very confusing, and the structure falls apart when you breathe on it. Never mind. Nowhere near the quality you get with Lego. Stay away, even if you are a Doctor Who fan. Same can be said for the Dalek spaceship. Would rate both 0 stars if that was possible.
Now this is a funny one. More torturous than the real thing. Is it suitable for ages 6 upwards? No. It took me hours to follow the complicated instructions and was very, very tricky. For a 40-year-old, does it then fall apart? Yes. You can't play with this toy unless you treat it like a Doctor Who version of Buckaroo. However, it does look good and is definitely a learning experience. I learned that my 6-year-old girls can cry a lot more than I ever imagined.
Avoid at all costs unless you want to waste a whole day trying to get it together. And you know what? Let's leave it there, shall we? So,
it was shite.
What is the most disappointing toy think of everything you've ever had for Christmas and birthday? What was the biggest disappointment?
It's definitely this.
Is it definitely that, really? Yeah. Nothing has ever been worse.
Mate, nothing could be worse.
And do you know what? I actually feel sorry that you don't have it anymore because I'd love to do a video on this. I'd love to show you
see how shit it is.
How shit this thing really was.
Why don't we buy one and then try and build it?
I don't think you can. I think Steve Hadley's got one actually because I posted this on the group yesterday. I think Steve Hadley, if you've still got one, let me know.
Send it over.
If you want to sell it, we'll bring it over. We'll do a video on how bad because you've got to see it to realise.
I reckon we can buy one on eBay.
I reckon there might be one on eBay. I'll tell you what, we'll have a look.
We'll try it.
I had a look on Amazon and strangely enough, this is currently currently unavailable and we don't know when it's going to be next in stock. Sorry, mate, I woke you up. I'm getting the evil eye off the dog now. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great remainder of your Christmas. What are we doing tomorrow?
It's your birthday.
Oh, yes, my birthday.
He's 50 tomorrow.
Don't tell everyone. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining me, Josh, and Reginald the Greyhound. He looks bored to tears. We'll catch you again very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.